Hello everybody, my name is Ilya.
And my name is Tyler. Together we make up Kovray, a couple that loves to play board games.
And giving standing ovations.
Because we love music.
And that's why today we're going to be doing a how to play of Ovation.
Wow! Ovation is published by Looking Glass Workshop, who helped sponsor this video, and it's designed by Kirsten Lund.
In Ovation, you'll take a role of a classical composer to become one of the legends of classical music. Are you up for it? Let's head on over to the table to learn how to play. As always, you'll begin by setting up. You'll shuffle the concert music, chamber music, patron, and fortune decks, and set them up in the center of the table, revealing 5 cards from each deck. You'll shuffle the ticket deck and place it off to the side, and the maestro deck revealing cards equal to the amount of players plus 2. Each player will receive a player board, a matching composer token, one of each inspiration markers, joy, sorrow, and passion, which will start at 1, and finally, 1 music note. The rest of the music notes will be set up as a general supply in the center. You're now ready to play. Your goal in this game is to be the player with the most legacy points by the end of the game, which will happen when only 2 maestro cards remain to be claimed. This game is played in turns. On your turn, you'll choose one of the 4 different main actions, and proceed by taking additional bonus actions or free actions before the next player takes their turn. Let's go over each of the main actions. Seek inspiration. Your main resource in this game is inspiration. Nearly every card you obtain will require inspiration to be spent. This action allows you to gain inspiration tones, either 1 inspiration marker up to 2 spaces or 2 different markers up 1 space each. Seek fortune. Here you'll pay inspiration to acquire fortune cards. Inspiration spent here can be in any combination of tones as indicated by the icon on the cards. Fortune cards help you be more effective when taking other actions. The card you acquire will go in the corresponding action space above the main action and any fortune cards already there, strengthening that space by giving you the option to take an additional action when taking the corresponding main action. Seek patronage. Here you'll spend inspiration to acquire patrons. There are 2 different types of patrons, legacy and financiers. Legacy patrons will gain and lose you legacy points based on what type of cards you collect in the game and are placed to the left of your player board. Financier patrons will act similarly to fortune cards, except they'll only be placed in the Seek Fortune action space. This further strengthens the action by giving you the option to take additional actions when taking the Seek Fortune main action. Perform, the most exciting action. Here you'll spend your inspiration tones to perform chamber and concert music. The primary difference between the two is that concert music will require you to have performed a specific type of tone or music prior to performing the corresponding piece. When performing, you'll spend your inspiration tones and claim the corresponding card, placing it to the right of your player board. When doing so, you'll acquire a music note. Performing is the only way to obtain more music notes throughout the game. The players to your left and right now have the option to attend your performance. If they do, they will gain an inspiration for each tone listed on the top left corner of your music card. You in return will gain a ticket which the player or players attending will draw and hand to you. Tickets can be saved to score additional legacy points at the end of the game, or exchange in return for inspiration as long as you have 2 of the same ticket, as the conversion is 2 to 1. And that's the 4 main actions. Now let's talk about bonus actions. As you acquire fortune and patron cards, you'll have additional actions available to you. Only after taking the main action, you may use bonus actions in the corresponding space. In order to do so, you'll need to place a music note on that bonus action you wish to take. Some of these will grant you inspiration tones, while others will grant you the ability to take one of the other main actions. You'll move your composer to a different action when taking that bonus action. Now once you've completed this action, you can take additional bonus actions present here. You will have to be careful with how you plan your actions because once your composer moves, you may not take the bonus actions of the space you moved from. The other type of bonus action you'll see is one of the requirement. You'll have to complete the requirement, place the music note, and then obtain the bonus. Last thing we'll note here is that you may only use each music note once per turn and cannot take any of the bonus actions more than once per turn. It's also important to note that music notes are not spent and discarded. They will return to your supply every turn, so you can use them again on the following turns. Lastly, let's talk about the free actions. We already chatted about tickets. You can always exchange your tickets for inspiration as long as you have 2 matching tickets. You'll be granted 1 inspiration in return. Now there's a temperamental artist action. This free action allows you to refresh an entire row of cards, but in order to do so you need to permanently discard one of your music tokens. Now the last free action is take a maestro card. If at any point you've achieved the condition on the maestro card, you may take it on your turn. You can only take a maximum of 1 card per turn. If you qualify for more than one, you'll have to choose which to take, and will have the opportunity to take the other on your next turn as long as it's not claimed before then. And that's your turn. For cleanup, you'll refill any of the empty card spaces, remove all the music tokens from the bonus actions on your player board and return them to your supply, and finally remove your composer token from its last location. What this means is that on your next turn, you're able to take the same action you took the turn before. You'll now keep playing until only 2 maestro cards remain. You'll complete the current round so that everyone has had an equal number of turns and begin your final scoring. You'll add up all your legacy points on your cards, remembering to exchange the tickets for additional point for every 2 unspent tickets. The composer with the highest total wins. If there is a tie, the player with the most performed music wins. If there's still a tie, the player with the most leftover inspiration wins. A couple of last notes to mention. Each composer will have a special ability. This usually is a discount to perform specific types of music. And you can also play with the Magnum Opus module. At the start of your game, you'll obtain 3 Magnum Opus cards corresponding to your composer. During the game, you can complete one of these performances. They're more difficult as they have 2 requirements and a higher cost than other performances, but they will grant you more points in return. And that's Ovation.
Will your music strike into the hearts of all?
I thought you were going to say strike the right note.
Oh, that would have been good too.
Well, if you have any questions on how this game is played, make sure to leave us a comment down below and check out the campaign coming up for this game. It's a goodie, but if you want to know more about our thoughts, we're going to be doing a review of this game as well. So click that link right
That way.
right there.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Bye.